Slip, slippity doo, slip doppity, flip, flippity bree, brip broppity. Here are we in our property, living like fish, we flip floppity. So it's time for a dungeon run. Did one earlier today that ended up being super swell, so we're expecting a middle of the road. Hey, what's up? How's things? Hannah? Yeah, but we're expecting nothing mind-blowing after the freaking insanity was the earlier run I had. Nah, it's M. Who's M? Kyle M. Scientist. Ooh, okay. Well, that's not a great gun, but it's a gun. It's a living. Yeah, I had that run earlier where I got the cursed bullets, and I got the silver bullets, and I got the platinum bullets, and I got the drill on the first floor, and all kinds of stuff. Nothing's really going to live up to that. How's things, Kyle? You got a live one on your hands. Are you having a good night, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, damn. Well, hardware acceleration is pretty demanding. Wait, it's lagging once you've turned it off? That doesn't fucking make any sense. What the fuck? These early floors have been key-tastic. What's your key? Oh, Discord's lagging since you turned it off? Oh. Yeah, that makes sense, but it sucks. It super sucks. Hardware acceleration just for... It's for vocals? For audio stuff or for GIFs? It's probably the last update. There's this tendency with why did I do that? With programs to like start expecting people to increase their computing power or their internet speed or whatever over time, and so they just like keep rolling out more programs that use more and more of their the processing power, and it's really frustrating because there are plenty of people who can't do anything about any of this stuff for a while at least, and you just have to work with basically a worse program for a while. I know this is not the best way to handle these two, but I'm not using my freaking rogue pistol. I'd rather this fight be like 10 minutes long using a different weapon than using the rogue pistol. I think Shades is probably gonna move on to the big bullet farm in the sky first, but it's gonna be... Oh no! Weird. God, I'm hitting like 1 out of every 8 bullets. It was okay when there's 2 of them, but when there's just 1, that's like unacceptable. But yeah, the last run went so freaking well, but I don't think I can... Run bullets would be cool. Even just like accuracy bonuses would be cool. But the last run went so well, I cannot expect anything from this run. I know that's kind of like a reverse of like the gambler's dilemma or whatever. The sunk cost fallacy. But oh god, with the water. But you know, Having 2 incredible runs in a row is like such a freaking rarity. But, however, we have had a bunch of keys on this floor. So maybe things are just on the upswing. I don't know if I've ever gotten, or I've ever used remote bullets with the Old King's Crown. Or whatever the fuck it's called. Don't care. New hair, don't care. But yeah, have you gotten everything set up? I mean, you showed me pictures and it seemed like you had everything pretty much good to go except for the RAM. Dude, it's too cold! Sweet. Did you go grab a USB flash drive? You'll be able to turn the computer on and get to the boot drive without having Windows, and you'll actually be able to install Windows without having a key. I mean, you'll have to get a key at some point because it has like certain certain features locked behind the paywall, but I'm pretty sure you can just install Windows and get basic functionality. It puts a watermark on your thing, and it makes it so you can't do things like you can't change the background or like screensaver and things like that until you get it upgraded. Damn, the keys. Yeah, they're like Moses for a long time was like he updated his, or he got his computer and installed it with the Windows that he got when he bought a certain part of the computer came with a Windows boot, but like for some reason the key that they gave him didn't work, so he just ran it with the freaking watermark on it for a long time. Then he got tired of it, and he got out of the way anybody with any sense who's already paid for a thing. He did something a little less than perfectly legal. But like, so if you ever upgrade your motherboard, you have to go into your Windows on your computer before you do it. Download the program. There's like this file you have to like sign off saying like, hey, I'm going to be moving my moving over to a new motherboard. You have to do that before you put the new motherboard in, even with the same hard drive, the same everything. And that's what I did when I upgraded my computer, or that's what I didn't know to do when I upgraded my computer. So I was sitting there with a fresh install of Windows, and it just wasn't fucking working. Because I changed my fucking motherboard. And it doesn't tell you that anywhere before you do it. So I just plopped down, started putting new parts in, and then got to the part where it was like that initial boot, and it just would not come off even though I put my key in multiple times. So be wary of that. Is that the Amonama bots on that computer at your P-Rinse house? Yeah, it's really frustrating, and I wish I had known before I freaking did all that. However, instead of paying Windows a second time, I just went on some website and was like, fuck this. Give me the thing. Just give me the fucking thing. Ah. Do you think it sometimes messes up your internet? Like it's doing a little self-update or something? And it's like, I'm about to ruin this man's whole internet. No? Oh, I thought that said no ham. It's like, that's good. You don't want anything to do you any ham. I have two laptops. I have a Chromebook and an old laptop from like 2006 or 2007 sitting in my my closet right now. I tried using the Chromebook for anything. Chromebooks are fucking stupid. Because like it's basically a terrible phone with a keyboard. Ah, that makes sense. Oh, you had the stream up while you were playing? Yeah, that's most likely it. Everybody tells me to just put Ubuntu or Linux on it, and I'm like, Linux on it, and I'm just like, I don't know how to fucking do that. I don't understand, I don't know how to use Linux. Also, I don't really need it. I have two fully functional computers. But the Chromebook is also extremely slow. So Jackie was using it for a little while for Netflix, and then we just, like, Netflix in bed or whatever, so she could plug headphones in. But then I just got her some wireless headphones. Or earbuds, I guess. She really hated using it. I'd rather just be done with it in general. I'd rather give it away. I don't know anybody that needs a freaking Chromebook, though. As soon as I find someone, it's theirs. Also, how you doing, Bob? Good to see you. It's been a little while. You know, I don't think our library actually has a computer donation thing. I've been to the library twice out here, or at least the nearest by one. I'm sure there's one I could find that needs any kind of tech. What kind of conferences? Education conferences. Damn, that was a terrible... Damn! Man, that just cost me like 50 casings to get hit twice there. I'm glad you're enjoying that, Kyle. I really am. Because that was, so before, remember when I had like one screen right here, one right there, this one, and then I got the drawing monitor, and I was like, this is extremely excessive. I couldn't have 3 monitors going, and Jackie's got 2 monitors going right now. She's got a ultra wide, or not the ultra wide. She's got the 144 hertz, like 2K monitor, and then we got a regular 1080p TV connected to it, mounted to the wall. I mean, you guys have all seen the house tour. Showed how Jackie's setup was. I haven't changed it since then. Wonder what was in that blue chest on the last floor. Man, I need some water! Why do I need water right in the middle of this boss fight? This BF. Yeah, that water was gross. I need to wash out my cup. Ugh, my mouth feels gross now. I think that was bathroom water. And old! Why would I do that to myself? Pedagogical conferences. Conferences. Come on, you stupid butt. Give me a bunch of health. Can't believe I fucked that up. Lost all those casings, essentially. I'm still working on it, and it's going to take a little while, but I am still currently working on Infinite Jest. I'm about 200 pages into it, so I'm not gonna, like, there's a new Neil Stephenson book I wanted to read. I am a slow reader, Bob, so yeah, I think I have like a written down list of books you've recommended, and things on my, and like that Neil Stephenson book that I picked up, stuff that's like kind of on the back burner until I finish Infinite Jest. I read about 30 pages a day at most, and the book is like 900 pages, so I'll be working on it for a little while. God, stop hitting me. Ah, I like those. I like the ones that you just, like, you cannot stop. Wow. Well, here's hoping that actually gives us something. A lot of these weapons have been really just not best. How much? Medkit gives how much? Yeah, I am very okay, well, there you go. That's 4 full hearts. That can't be right. That's too much. How much is this? 24 per? Yeah. So it'll pay for itself even if it's only 4 half hearts. I'm gonna do this a little weird. I'm gonna buy it, but I'm not going to use it yet. I'll use it when I get another active item, or if I'm about to die. I'll do one more. That's a really funny way to put that, Kyle. You got a way with words sometime, dude. It's more than one kind of Oreo? I thought that was one of those products that you don't need to do anything else with it. Ugh. No, I have not seen an Oreo making video. I'm having a real hard time keeping up with the internet recently. Dude, I thought this was just gonna be like a kind of regular run. And we got the freaking 7-leaf clover. I mean, there's still a chance for it to never pan out. I've had 7-leaf clover runs that just like never were that exciting. Yo, shit. Stop shooting at me. I'm too nervous for this right now. I hate how nervous I get when I'm holding the fucking old crest. Stop. Ugh. Hey, it's time to get paid. Oh lord, I gotta get through this freaking room before I check my paycheck or look at the video or anything. Eee! Almost didn't move fast enough. Okay. I gotta turn in this old crest before I fucking crap my pants. Even though I already pooped, I could see myself doing a secondary crap. That was a terrible dodge roll. If there was any fairness in the world, I would have lost my fucking crest right there. But luckily, the world's unfair in my favor right now. Very temporarily. Yo, you are a cheater and a crook. 7-leaf clover. Oh, it's only the regular room chest, isn't it? Hi Sam, hi Ninja. How's everybody doing tonight? This run so far, it has a ton of potential. I want to see some of that potential lived up to, but not quite seen it yet. I have the 7-leaf clover, so I should have red and black chests galore. Hey, prestigious snake. How's it going? Man, we got a semi-full house here tonight. Yo, by the way, prestigious snake, are you like a Amoconda fan or something? Because that's a pretty prestigious snake, if I've ever seen one. Just let me turn in the freaking thing. Ah! That's Rando. Oh, Rango. That Johnny Depp lizard movie? I remember that movie being something that like people were talking about for a little bit, and then I don't know anybody that's seen it. I mean, except for people on... I don't know anybody in person that has seen it. Like, I've never been in the same room with someone that I am aware of having seen Rango. God, this is terrible. Get away from me. Ugh. Just let me turn in the fucking thing. Why is the old crest always behind some bullshit? Or the, tombstone room. Ugh! Fuck! God, I'm so mad. That's so obnoxious. I like couldn't even see where those shots were coming from. Oh, whatever. It's all my own fault. It's gonna be right here. No? No, not quite. It's this one. Well, at least we had that health. Because I would have died otherwise. Well, whatever. Stop thinking about it. I hate when I have something like the freaking 7-leaf clover and I just cannot find the room. Because that's another floor of red and black chests that I just missed out on. It's right here. Yeah. I want an item like the compass that just goes away after you find the freaking thing. Luke Besson made another movie after the terrible pile of crap that was Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets was just fucking unwatchable, dude. Like, I rolled into the first attack. I rolled into a stationary bullet. I'm losing it, dude. I'm losing it on this run. Yeah, well, I mean, the comics that Valerian is based off of are French comics, and I'm sure that, like, there's an audience for them. But that movie was, like, you shouldn't have to fully know the source material to enjoy a movie in the slightest. That's not a good description of a quality product. What's going on? What's going? He's like chasing me down. I'm falling to pieces. Jackie and I went and saw Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets after I showed her Fifth Element, and she freaking loved it. Fifth Element is one of those movies that I have an extreme fondness for. And so I was like, there's no chance I'm not going to see this movie. But Luc Besson did Lucy, and he did Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets, and both of those movies were dog shit. Like, those movies are like unwatchable claptrap. Like, they're drivel. There's a word I don't like to use because it sounds a little pretentious, but like, they are garbage movies. Like, they're both so bad. And I think he's just on a losing streak. If you like any... I mean, feel free to like those movies if they're your particular COT. But I hated every minute of Lucy, and I hated 9.5 out of every 10 moments of Valerian. Cup of tea. Cup of tea. I like abbreviating the word tea because it's the word tea. God, you got a chicken. That's your COT, your chicken of tea. You got one of those for every situation. Come on, dude. Please, aim the gun at the freaking ghost. Please. Oh boy. There's a TV show, yeah. Seth Green's magnum opus. Seth Green? Yeah. McFarlane's the other one. Seth Green's doing the freaking interview rounds. He's going around talking about his new comedy. Comedio drama, or whatever they're calling these halfsy-wafsies these days. Yeah, I think they're calling them halfsy-wafsies. Whereas like half a bucket full of laughs and half a bucket full of nothing. It's like The Big Sick. The Big Sick was a very good half comedy, half drama. I love Camille. But like most movies, most contemporary comedies, I just want jokes, man. Like, nothing's just jokes. The jokes fully stop and become either just callbacks or they're just focusing on the story. The last movie that I watched that was all jokes, drama, that was all jokes was Jackie and I just watched Top Secret recently. Actually, at the behest of Seth Green, or not the behest, but the recommendation of Seth Green on Comedy Bang Bang. He said it was his favorite comedy of all time. So we rented it on Amazon Prime, and that movie is just all fucking jokes. It is in the vein of Airplane and Leslie Nielsen's movies, the ones where it's just like the entire situation just exists to set up more jokes. Like, there's no other reason for what's going on. Police Squad, the Naked Gun movies, Airplane, Hot Shots, and Part 2. Like, these movies that are just like silly and rich with non sequitur humor. I miss that so much. Not that like all of them were good, but like I don't want a movie to like spend the last act in a three-act arc. You know, being about like the power of friendship and like promising to like be with each other forever. Like, you get enough of that in drama. You don't need comedy to be that too. I know there's this whole feeling like, well, it has to be an entire story, but like, says who? Probably says, you know, ticket sales and critical reception, etc., etc. Come on, be dead, please. 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 Thank you. One of my favorite moments from any comedy movie, and it's so simple, is they're doing, you know, the pan up shot they do of like the busty vixen or whatever in these movies. They're start at their ankles and work the camera up their body, and they're showing the Lieutenant Drebin's wife or whatever in a Teddy, and she's like, the camera pans up and it's two sets of knees during the pan. It's so fucking good. Like, and it's just there for no reason. Like, I don't know. O.J. Simpson was in the freaking lethal or loaded weapon. What are they called? Not Police Squad. Oh, right. Have a good night, Bob. Yeah, you have to really be paying attention for him to see him like cut around the set, because I remember seeing that scene and thinking nothing of it until like the third time I'd watched the movie. Lethal. No, it's not Lethal Weapon. What the fuck? Naked Gun. There we go. I'm having a hard time with that one. Thanks, little baby. Little skeleton baby. I don't need Mimic Friendship. I need Mimic Toothship. This curse is getting a little out of hand. And the fact that my weapons are still pretty much garbage is also getting out of hand. Something's been happening recently where I am ending up with weapons I didn't pick. Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen it, there's something a little... They're hard to watch because they're a format that's not really used anymore. If you're just coming into them from scratch. But like the Naked Gun series is so good. It's just pure comedy at every opportunity. There's never a moment where they miss their chance or anything like that. If there's a chance, they've freaking taken it for a joke. That sucks. Yeah. And I think Airplane, and like... I mean, there are other movies that are like that, but they're not as effective. Like every Rodney Dangerfield movie does that to some degree. Rodney Dangerfield movies are a little bit more like one-liners. He loves to just drop one-liners constantly. Aw, I'm so fucking dumb. Why didn't I check? Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield is all just about like, oh, she looks like a horse with banana lips. Like, that's my spontaneous Rodney Dangerfield right there. It's not good, but neither are a lot of his jokes. Hey, Manboo, what's up? He's got more of the no respect. They're better. They're better than that. But like, I don't know. We watched a lot of Rodney Dangerfield movies growing up because my mom really liked them, and you know, we had to go to Blockbuster. So we had to get something that everybody could sit down and watch because that was the only movie we were gonna fucking watch. It's better than when she started really, really being into Martin Lawrence. Christmas Vacation. Well, what's his name? Chevy Chase. I didn't get into Chevy Chase until later in his career, and then I went back and watched some of his older stuff, and I think the National Lampoon stuff is a lot better than where he landed later in his career. I mean, Community's good, but, you know, I think they underutilized him. Pierce was pretty close to a one-note character. I understand his frustration, and I understand anybody's frustration with working with Dan Harmon. As much as I respect the guy, I know he's like an actual toilet of a person. Like, I don't mean this for anybody that's an involuntary celibate or anything like that, but if your girlfriend breaks up with you because you won't bathe, so you get... Oh no, I wasted a fucking key on that. But if your girlfriend slash longtime partner breaks up with you because you refuse to bathe and just spend your days drinking and stewing, and then you get a real doll to replace her afterwards, you're doing something wrong. Hey. Sorry. Jackie had a weird interaction with a coworker. That's it. She needed to talk about it. I'm back. So this thing doesn't give the kind of chests I need. So we're gonna actually drop our curse a little bit. Just a little bit. And maybe a lot. I still would like some keys. Dude, that seems like you're bad at mining. It's probably your fault. I don't know. Are you digging in a straight line? No variation? That's how the pros do it. Give me the fucking clone. I like want a clone run. I never want a clone run, but I want a clone run now. Just give me a fucking clone. God. I need keys also. Oh yeah, this cuts my ammo down. Well, I have the 10% bonus ammo. Just give me a freaking clone game. Give me a clone game. Clone it up. Game! I think that's actually going to be pretty hard to use the BSG with fatty bees. Hey, how come fat bullets don't apply to RG2BD2 BGD? 2DBG. Ooh, the jam guy is the charmed guy. Doesn't mean he's going to do double damage, just means he's going to attack more frequently. Oh man, I'm looking up at what seems like a way to Alt F4 somebody, but I don't know Minecraft. Hey, a key! Dude, I don't know anything about Minecraft. I know that you mine, and then you build stuff, and you can play on survival mode or creative mode. Creative mode, you just like make the items, I think. Oh, I know why. That's the coordinate on the coordinate plane, as devised by Descartes. Descartes. Cartesian plane. It's crazy that Descartes came up with a grid, and everyone's like, "Damn, dog!" I know Descartes did a lot of other stuff. He's also wrong about a lot of stuff. He's wrong about gravity. That's something Newton fixed for him. Not even a fucking treasure chest? We're probably gonna get this one. I mean, we still got green we can drop. Or curse we could drop. What am I talking about? Green we can drop. I saw a green chest on the map. What must the world have looked like before, like, how did people even talk about math before the Cartesian plane was invented? That's one of those things I just don't understand. Like, how did you talk about plotting geometrical things? How did the freaking ancient Greeks and Romans figure out the diameter of the Earth without being able to graph anything? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I guess what I'm asking is, how did the nerds do it? I seriously don't understand. I mean, I know they use a piece of string and the ship on the horizon or whatever, but like just saying that doesn't mean that I actually understand how that turned into like figuring out within a reasonable, like reasonably accurate amount the exact diameter of the Earth. Like, that's fucking insane. Or the circumference of the Earth, excuse me. I just, like, mankind's ability to figure shit out is mind-blowing. Like, for realsy McDealsy. Wow, that sucked. This is not the guy I need to be. The basic principles, I think, are exactly the thing that, like, they're so astounding to me to even think about. Like, I don't understand how they... Oh, wait, what am I doing? Oh, man. How they, like, figured out, like, these are fun... Like, Pythagorean theorem? Insane. Like, insane. There's a really good fiction book by Neil Stephenson called Anathem that talks about those and about these fundamental truths, and he posits in the book, in the fiction of the book, that it's the information comes from a higher dimension, that fundamental truths exist on a higher plane of reality, and it's a really cool way to talk about the idea of multiple dimensions. Yeah, dude, like, I understand how people believe that the Earth is flat, because that's what our eyes tell us. But they've got to be stupid if they don't look at all of the other things our eyes tell us, such as seasons and the opposite seasons existing on the southern hemisphere, and eclipses and things like that. There's so many things that, oh my god, why can't I dodge? Pretty readily counteract a lot of that stuff. Well, we're gonna buy this. We'll probably buy the Crestfaller just because we're a little light on things. It's right there. Okay. I'm not gonna open that curse thing yet. Or maybe at all. This is a lot of curse all of a sudden. I dropped 3 on the last floor, and I just picked up... It's going to be 2.5 when this guy dies. No, Dead Cops 2, and then 1 more for blank bullets. So that's 3 curse. At least. I'm at least back where I was. Come on. There we go. It's an ugly, terrible gun. It puts at 6.5 at a minimum, but I feel like I stole it or something. I actually... Oh my god, he died immediately. And I didn't talk to him to get the damage boost. Oh yeah, of course he died immediately. He always dies by the dragon thing. There was not one shot fired in that cop's life. Shit. But string theory still believes that there are actually 11 spatio-temporal dimensions. And they can explain a lot through those 11 dimensions. Some of the smaller scale stuff tends to fall apart when you think about them, but Jesus Christ, 2 terrible rolls in a row. The thing that's like a little frustrating about anything about higher dimensions, higher spatial dimensions than the 3 that we have, is that it's all pretty much conjecture, especially when it comes to the Big Bang. Like, there's no way for it to not just be proven, but there's no way for it to really be understood in terms of our current grasp of space, like our current grasp of physics, I mean. Oh god. You couldn't even, like... Give me that curse. I'm so nervous. I don't think I can take that. Let's just move on. I'm way too much of a pussy to get that extra curse. I don't... Okay. This. This. What do we need ammo for? Sure, why not? Oh, I came over here for no reason. Yeah, if you have a link to that video, I would be, maybe interested in watching it. A majority of the conceptual ideas in Rick and Morty are lifted straight out of Marvel. It's pretty disappointing to find that out, but like, there's actually almost nothing that's in Rick and Morty that wasn't done in the Fantastic Four. I don't think there's any reason to blame the show for the fan base. I think that's unfair. I think there's plenty to blame the show about, though. I really respect Justin Roiland, and I think that Dan Harmon, as we talked about earlier, is a great thinker with a shit personality. But yeah, I don't think it's fair to hate the show because its fan base is a bunch of freaking idiotic, fart-sniffing fools. Not everybody. I mean, I still love the show. Like, I was talking to Nate the other day about how much I wish I could go back and re-enjoy Rick and Morty before it became popular. Not out of a sense of like, I like it and nobody else does, but out of a sense of like it being this kind of pure experience, like this absurdist humor that just no one knew about yet. And now it's got a fucking chip on its shoulder, and it's got things to prove, and it's got et cetera, and it, like, I think the scripts are, I mean, it's not really scripted, it's storyboarded, but I think a lot of the stories are more about the same thing. I don't think that's always the case. I think that's a pretty a limited way to look at it. I think you draw certain fans because the thing is actually successful. Like, I mean, you can't hate Star Wars as a whole because people were shitty about Rose. You can't hate Rick and Morty because people made a fucking big deal about Szechuan sauce. Like, he's blaming the hearse before the dead-ass pathetic horse, you know? There is some stuff that bothers me, like it calling itself the smartest show on television and things like that. Just kind of like embracing the pretense. But I think if you watch the show, there's no real glorifying of Rick Sanchez. Kinda. I mean, it kinda does, but like, I think that if you really look into the overall sadness that characters like Rick Sanchez and Beth and the worst people in the show exhibit, then you'll see that it's not saying it's great. It's saying that, like, sometimes these are, you know, the best or brightest kind of people. They're all analogs for the creators to certain degrees, with them being aware of how pretentious it is to be that great. I think it's supposed to be a bad guy. Have you ever watched Venture Brothers? I mean, it's called the Venture Brothers, and pretty much every character except Brock Sampson is despicable to some degree in that show. Like, it doesn't... And Brock Sampson is a, you know, brutal killer. Like, I think we're gonna see more and more. There's gonna be shows where people are fundamentally and irreparably flawed, especially in that vein of dark humor. But I still think blaming the fans for a lack of trust in the show is pretty short-sighted. What? When did it become pedo-focused? I don't remember that part. I still think Venture Brothers is one of the greatest shows to ever be on television. Oh yeah, that was one episode. You're talking about like the Sunlight Captain or whatever. That was a whole episode about the Catholic Church, basically.
Jackie's home.
Hey, Jackie's home. Oh yeah, Captain Hatred was pretty pedophilic. He got better. But yeah, Captain Hatred, or Sergeant Hatred, was a pretty fucked up character in a lot of ways. He was a redeemed character. It was weird that they had that. I think it's one of the issues they had in making, like, the show was extremely dark and extremely graphic about its darkness. But I think what they were trying to say is, like, hey, it's hard to make a story where little kids get in these weird, these weird situations. And, like, we're trying to make it, like, this series of despicable characters. So we're going to have some people that are really, really bad. And it's going to be uncomfortable. Like, there's some other stuff that bothered me about that show, like Shore Leave and, oh my god, what's the other guy? The, like, blatant flaming gay couple that are, like, also very religious. Like, it kind of felt like an ambiguously gay duo kind of strange thing. Like, just, when a joke is just, like, look at how gay people act, that shit bums me out. What's up, baby? I'm not stinky. I smell good. Oops. Well, I got hit from this boss. Imagine that. Huh? Somebody said hi. Kyle says hi. Yeah. Well, Shore Leave and God, what's the other guy? Some other nautical themed guy. And Fernando says hi, and also Ninja, SSD Ninja. They all say hi. But those guys were not pedophiles in any way. They were just like this bad gay stereotype. You see it in a lot of like early alt humor, like in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff like that. Gay is just a joke, and it's fucking frustrating. And I think Doc Hammer or Jackson Public had a real issue with that, especially since one of them came out as either gay or trans or something. One of them came out and then like feeling really, really horrible about a lot of the jokes they made. Man, we didn't get a Lead God, we didn't get a Lich Flawless, we didn't get an Old King Fight, we didn't go to the Rat, we didn't get Junkin. We got the 7-Leaf Clover, and then we didn't get anything like insane with it. But nonetheless, a good run overall. I've been going from like one incredible run to one underwhelming run. One incredible, one underwhelming. Like I can't do two great ones in a row. Who hit me on the second floor? Oh wait, the ammo conduit. Yeah. Look at all those skeleton heads on the bottom. I never really looked at that. It's creepy. Bunch of dead guys that I killed.